Hi there, welcome back. Welcome back to the series on the restoration of this Grundig Satellit 650 Professional. This one is that project that I mentioned was probably going to be stop-start, and it has proven that way, not by choice, but simply because it takes a long time to get parts. There were three problems that I had here. All of them required parts. One of them, first one, was the speaker foam, which was completely rotting away. I managed to get a replacement speaker foam thanks to one of the viewers. Thank you very much. I managed to get a drive belt for the pre-selector tuning. That was also quite easy to get, but it took quite a while to get here. And the last one was the audio selection, the input selection to the audio section. So you can select between line in, FM, or one of the AM bands. That chip, it was a CD4066, I think it was, that was kaput. And in one of the, I think it was the previous video, I found out that it was in fact kaput because you can test it. It also activates the mute function. So when you do a quick tune, it mutes it till you stop tuning and then it comes on again. That was working, but it was muting on other stages or for other reasons, which was wrong. So I ordered the chips. I ordered the CD4066, not the MC14066, which is what they had in there. I wasn't sure if it would work, but apparently it's the same chip. So I tried that. When it arrived, I tried that, and you'll see the result now. But all these things took a hell of a long time. That's why this thing has been on hold for a while. But I'm happy to say that it's now going to be, I'm going to show you the result of repairing these three things. And I've gone into quite a bit of detail, especially that belt replacement, which I've been warned provokes incredible amount of swearing. I am telling you now, I found a way to do it that doesn't require not even one swear word, and you don't have to tape your mouth. It is so easy, it's unbelievable. I'm so glad I found it. It wasn't my invention. I found a forum, a German forum, which I had translated. It works like a charm, and I'll show you that in this video as well. So if you want to find out how to do these things, you know, replace the audio, replace the foam on the speaker, and replace the drive belt, stick around, enjoy the video. Right, you may recall the first issue we had was that selector switch, or the audio selector IC, which has an incorporated mute circuit. That's the guy over there. It's CD4066, but this one was actually, I think it was a proprietary IC that they relabeled. First thing you'll do is remove the old IC, which I put in at the end there to test it again with the socket. Makes life a lot easier. Now this one says MC14066 BCD, and the new one says CD4066. So let's try that. It's this way around. Time to test it. The issue I had was on FM, so we'll select FM, power it up, and see where we are with the volume.
Para depois, quando transformo em homem, isso é muito importante. Tudo aquilo que nós.
Beautiful.
Frisar aqui novamente, aprendemos.
Our volume issue is gone. Another thing we need to do is make sure that the muting works. So if I spin this fast, it should mute for a while. And it does. Brilliant. That problem is solved. That was easy. Let's get on to the next one. The next issue is replacing this foam around the speaker. As you can see, it's pretty much gone. Fortunately, I got a new one, thanks to another friend that sent it to me. And we'll start by just removing the speaker. Okay, quite a bit of foam in there. I'm just going to desolder these guys so we can remove the speaker completely, and I think we're good to go. There's a seal along here that I need to keep. Make sure I don't lose that. We're done. Now what I need to do is just to remove all of that. It's coming off quite easily. And then I need to clean the residue. I don't want to put any pressure on the center cone. That is just completely rotted. It actually scrapes off, as you can see. We need to get that all out, and then we'll clean it with some alcohol. This has sort of become a paste. I have to be a little bit more careful with this residue here. I still want to take it off, but I need to be very, very careful that I don't damage or move that around too much. It's coming off quite nicely. Yep. Without much pressure at all, but I'll need to clean that. I don't know how I'm going to do that just yet. Right. I need to get out the alcohol. See if that comes off. Yeah, that comes off quite nicely. Hey Mac, look what I'm using. Best tool in the world. Chopstick. This has got a rim of glue, which was obviously, whoa, careful. It was obviously the glue that initially stuck this down, and that's proving tough to remove. But with this chopstick, softish wood, you can just sort of scrape it and then go back with the alcohol again. Okay, I'm going to carry on by myself. I just wanted to show Mac the continuation of the chopstick franchise. And here we are. It's all cleaned out. I think I've got everything out of there. This part here was kind of complicated because I had to use some alcohol with cotton swabs, a lot of them, as you can see. But I had to be careful that I didn't let this thing soak too much, because obviously I don't want to damage that. Now, one thing you need to be careful about is you make sure that this stays centered. If you push it in gently, you shouldn't get any scraping. I can't feel anything. So the idea is leave that as is, and now we have to put this over here and glue that in place. And the way to do it, the right way to do that, is put some glue on this inner rim first. And if you need to put it on this side, you put it on that inner rim section. Glue that in, and once that is glued in, then I think what I'll do is I'll lift this and put glue on the outside. I don't think I can do the two at the same time, although maybe I can. You see, this would be the ideal because it is perfectly centered, but I need to make sure that I get this thing done right, and I'm not sure that this glue, I'm just going to use this normal contact adhesive. It doesn't dry straight away. When it dries into a rubbery finish. It doesn't get solid, it doesn't get dry, it gets hard, but it doesn't get hard enough to deform this. So I'm not sure. I think maybe I'll try the inner rim first. I can see where the last rim, this foam is exactly the right one for this radio, so it's perfect. So I'm going to try that. Just a bead of glue uniformly all the way around. Let me shut up and do this properly. Need to make sure you get everything. Okay, let's try that. And now I'll let that dry. See what happens. Well, that turned out pretty well. Everything seems to have caught. We don't want air gaps in there. There's no scraping, so this thing is perfect. Now, all we need to do is clean up these contacts and solder it in there. Forgot something, which you should not forget. Now, I've got to lie this on its back so that the seal can be properly set in its place. Let's see if I can do it like this. Doing this around the camera is really fun. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, we're there. Beautiful. That is great. Just wonder what it sounds like. Let's try it on. Perfect. I was just listening to see whether we had any crackling noises. We don't. So it looks like the second challenge has been completed. All right, now we have the really, really tricky one, that drive belt. This should be fun. I think I need the cat to help me. Right, I'm ready for the last part. This is the drive belt that I need to replace. And I've got to tell you, I'm not too confident about this. I've got my coffee ready. I've got a website. It's a forum, German forum, that's now been translated with Google Chrome. And it actually gives a short description on how to go about it. That's the instruction I'm going to try and follow. Let's hope that it helps. Of course, I've got my faithful assistant here. He's already done a CAT scan, so he knows exactly what's wrong with it. Sorry, I'm stealing somebody else's joke. Now, the way you seem to have to do this is you need to remove all this, and the shaft apparently actually pushes through. But I'm going to follow that one step at a time. They tell you to remove these two knobs, and that's just by pulling it out. I've had this out before. Somebody had problems getting it before already because it's all scratched over here. That's a shame. Anyway, that one's out. This one. Okay, that one just comes out because it's got that tightening spring over here. And now there's a little C clip. I think that's what they're called over here. You've got to take it out very carefully or it just jumps everywhere. Got it. Keep it safe. Put these guys away where they won't get lost. And now I need to remove that little board, and it's held by two clips on the inside. Actually, I was wrong. It's not held by two clips, it's just something that plugs in there. So you just remove it carefully. Remember which way around it goes. I'm going to put it back so we get that out of the way. Now we should be able to remove the flywheel. Okay, that was easy. What's next? Then they tell you to remove that back part. Now that shouldn't be too difficult. You're supposed to remove this whole thing. This is the switch here that activates manual or auto tuning. And this thing was actually loose when I first got it. So there's some sort of clip on here, if I recall correctly. There we go. That's loose. And now I think, see, this comes back. But how much does it come back? Not enough. I think I need to remove that C-clip there as well. You know what? I'm just sort of guessing here. I think that's how it works. We shall see. Now I need to be careful I don't lose this guy as well. This would really be a pain because it'll be lost inside the radio. Got him. Now it seems that I can actually just push that entire... This one stays on. This little guy stays on. It seems I can just push that whole thing through if I hold this. It's just going in. And it seems that it will come out the front. But I need to make sure I hold the back in place. I don't want that to go all over the place. Ah! Done it! And I can see, oh, that's beautiful. Now, I've removed the flywheel a little bit back, so that means that the belt has now just fallen off. And I should be able to remove it. And if I've removed it, I can put it back. Brilliant. Now here's the new one. Now the trick is, I need to get it through the back, the same as I took it out. The best way to do that will be over the top. I want to drop it behind this guy. Move it away a bit. I still haven't sworn. Derek, I haven't said one swear word yet. Out with the chopstick again. Not one single swear word yet. But still early. Ha ha! Done, boy. Done. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to put that shaft in just to make sure that thing stays stable. Well, the shaft has come through, so that means I should be able to just put this on. The important thing is I've got it through the section where it would not go through. The back This is where some swearing might come in. No, I'm being stupid. Use my faithful press stick bits again. Break up a few balls. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that last statement. So if I put this on that ridge, which is around here, like that, can't get my fingers anywhere. Oh, here we go. I'm going to have to try and lie this on its stomach and see if I can get any better access. Let me try that. Well, it's in. It was actually a lot easier than I thought. I laid this on its front and on some foam, and then I started sort of rolling it on from the top, rolling it on, got it into that pulley, and then I put that pulley in. Remember, that pulley was out, and it seems to be in place. Let me just check. Yeah, it's in place. Now I need to obviously put the O-ring on there and on the front, and we'll test this. It still seems sort of loose, but hey, give it a try. Okay, that's all in. That clip is in. Now I just need to, this guy is a switch over here. See that? And that's pushed by that little shaft in the middle there. This just fits in like this. And if I push the shaft in the front, I can see the switch activating. I put this ring on too early. I've got to put that first. So we'll get it out again. And put that guy in there. There we go. It fits nicely in there. There are two grooves. You've got to get this right. And now we can put that, what is this, a C-clip? Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. There we go. That's running smoothly. That is running. And the switch is working. Okay, good. Put this guy back. This just plugs in there. There we go. Sure that that is out of the way. I think that's right. And now, just a question of testing this. I'm going to put this one in. This one is easy. And this is the fine tuning. And now we'll see if that thing works. And now for the moment of truth. I've got it on 510. I've got the auto pre-selector activated by pushing that guy there. I'm going to give it 1 megahertz. Isn't that a beauty? 1530 local station. See, it shifts. Now, is that perfectly aligned? No, it's slightly to the right. I put in 1 megahertz. 1 megahertz should be, where is it? About there. It's a little bit to the right. So there is an adjustment set of instructions somewhere. Got to find it. But you know what? For now, I just consider myself so bloody lucky that I'm going to stop for today. See that? It just adjusts. It mutes as it should do. And then it catches on and it adjusts the pre-selector. So it's not too badly off. The idea is when you're doing this, you just tune normally, or you select, say, you put it in with the dial pad and it takes care of itself. Now there's obviously nothing here, but if I go to a place where I do have a station, let's see. This is late morning, so I don't expect much at all. What I do now is I can adjust it. It's actually not bad. It is on peak. Could just be the dial pointer that's moved. Okay, well, that is good. That is good. It's a good day. It must have been the CAT scan that helped me. I've just been trying this on shortwave. I'm not worried about what we're listening to because there's nothing at the moment. But if I put in 18 megahertz, ta-da, there we go. 7 megahertz. It's not too far off, actually. Let's try 3 megahertz. See, it's about a centimeter off, but again, 1.7 megahertz. It's the same distance off everywhere, so I think it might just be the dial pointer, but I'm not going to worry about that now. I am so happy with this, you will not believe. But there's another little trick I want to tell you about. And that's got to do with these 3 screws that actually hold on the motor. What I found was this was still slipping a little bit, very little when I first put it on. And then I realized that you can actually shift the motor a few millimeters to the left. And I loosened these screws. I shifted the motor ever so little, 2 millimeters, tighten them up again, and it tightened this up perfectly, which leads me to believe that even with the old belt, I might have been able to get away with this. So before you start changing drive belts, try this. Try and shift the motor outwards. It's doing the same thing. It's going to tighten it against, because this pulley is going to move left. It's going to tighten it, and it's going to make this thing a lot more taut, and it might just work. Okay, I'm not saying it will, but it might just work. The other thing I thought of is this pulley here is actually loose. This is the one that was the bottom of the radio when I got it. It actually comes out. And I was wondering, if you have a 3D printer or if you've got a lathe and you make a slightly bigger diameter pulley over here, that'll have the same effect as moving this out. It'll tighten the belt. So maybe that's something to look at as well, because, okay, this belt replacement was easy. I must admit, it was really easy. I was expecting something a lot worse, but it turned out to be quite easy. But if you can avoid it, hey, it might be a solution. Move the belt, move the motor out, tighten this whole thing with the motor itself, or make a slightly bigger diameter pulley there. And believe me, it doesn't take much. This thing took 2 millimeters to the left, and it was perfect. I'm not going to put the old one in to find out if it works. I am so happy with this that I'm leaving it as is. So that is another step done. 3 steps, in fact. The selector, the speaker foam, which is beautiful. It's come out fantastically. There's no rubbing. It's perfect. And now changing the belt. I hope this helps you. I certainly wish that I could find a video that described this process. I want to thank the gentleman who put that little blog post up. It's literally, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, and it gave me the idea of how to go about this. Also, it's in German, but I use Google Translate to translate the site on Google Chrome, so it was no problem. The translation is very, very good. So here we go. We've got another milestone reached. The 3 fears that I had were unfounded. This thing is fabulous. Now there's a lot of alignment to do, and I know that one of the alignments that needs doing is making sure that this goes to the right position on there. It's not so much the dial scale I'm worried about, it's the actual strength of the pre-selection that happens. There's a procedure, and I believe it's described in the manual, so I need to study that a bit more now that I've got these things done, and do the alignments. Probably go into checking the IF, checking the RF. I'm not sure. I'm enjoying this now. Once you've done the worst, the rest is just for fun. So I am not putting this in the case yet, not by a long shot. There are light bulbs to replace. There's all sorts of stuff. As I mentioned in the start of this series, this is an experimenter series. So far, the experiments have worked. So it's one that I'm going to do for fun, and every now and then I'll come back to this radio and show you another step. So once again, from someone who's very relieved, I want to thank you for your company. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it helps you. And if you have enjoyed this, click like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. It does help YouTube to promote the videos because, you know, somebody might have actually done a video of these somewhere. And because YouTube doesn't promote it, when I do a search, I can't find it. And the idea is not to be the only one up there. The idea is the more videos you have that help people, the better. That's my hope, that these sort of videos can help you do things to your radio. So, enough waffling. Thanks for watching. Bye for now and stay safe.